Hey guys, I'm here today for a long distance relationships advice Q&A. So yeah, you guys already know if you've been here that I've been in a long distance relationship for about a year now. But if you're new, you obviously don't know that, and to have some questions today that people have asked that will kind of help you get to know me more. So, my friend Natalia, who has a wonderful channel, has a few questions. I have 4 here from her, so that's where I'm gonna start. She asked me, "How did you meet?" This one's kind of a complicated one, but I ended up meeting him through online from a friend, like set me up with his best friend, and the best friend was like, "I think I found a good girl for you," to Gary, who's my current boyfriend. And we started talking, and we ended up setting a meeting to meet up, and that's how we met, per se. How often do we see each other? We try to see each other at least once a month. It doesn't always work out because there's sometimes traveling, so it may be longer, but we try to make it only a few, like 3, 4, or 5 weeks at most, because we like to be together, obviously, because we've been in a relationship before. We kind of saw each other every week at least when we were in high school. But obviously now we're in college and we're in 2 different states and pursuing what we want to pursue. And we're making it work. That's to say that. Speaking about making it work, she asked me also, how do you keep the spark going? Making these consistent times to meet is what's really helpful making it going, because you'll be working at school and be like, well, I'll see him in this many days. And it kind of like helps keep you going, because you'll see him soon. And we haven't had much struggle with keeping the spark going because we had this base we knew each other really well before we started the long distance. I think it isn't always the case for other people, because when I was thinking about making this, someone was kind of like, why is it that long distance doesn't work? And it's like, well, it's either that people don't have trust or something else, some other issue is going on. It hasn't ever been really complicated for me, because for us, is because we talk all the time. Like, we already were like talking every day before, and so we still talk basically like every day. Try to FaceTime a few times a week, because obviously we're busy at times, so not every day. And we both understand that, because we're trying to get involved in more things and stuff. But it's mainly what's keep it going is us talking all the time. She asked me directly, do you get jealous about other girls? That's something kind of that happened in the beginning, but it doesn't happen anymore, because we have a strong trust for each other. And we had somebody try to break us up, and they failed, because our bond is so strong, and we know we wouldn't do that to each other, because we both have had hard times when it comes to trying to tell someone our true feelings about each other, and they reject us. So we are really like protecting of one another, and yeah, so now I'm gonna go to a question of another YouTuber named Irene Kylie. Sorry, hope I didn't say it wrong. It says, name one thing you struggle with that you aren't anticipating would be a big deal. I mean, honestly, I'm not struggling with anything now, but we were struggling with things that were like fighting over little stupid things, like not talking to each other when we had planned to. That probably was the struggle I would say that I wasn't expecting would happen. But at the end of it, we figure it out, and we're like, we need to keep going and not keep on focusing on these little bumps, because we had bumps in the beginning and we got through them and we're fine now. So yeah, that's probably what I would say to that. I'll also link her channel down below, as well as Natalia's. Okay, so their next one is by a girl named Indigo Rose. I will also link her channel below. Is, what advice would you give someone who is starting to think that long distance wasn't a good idea? I mean, it really depends, because I know people who've done long distance and started and been like, this isn't gonna work. So you really have to think about the pros and cons to it. I would try to make it work, but if you really don't trust the person, or there's communication issues or something like that, those are really important. So if they're not treating you right or not following any of those things, you have to just probably end it. But I would try to figure out what is it that's making you feel like it's not a good idea, and try to talk with the person, about your partner, about what you feel. Because I feel like a lot of times when I talk about things with my boyfriend on how I feel, he understands, oh, I didn't know that you felt that way. How can I help in that situation? And so it's really, you have to make sure there's good communication. That's really the key. If you're not communicating well, and you can't trust, and you don't feel like the other person is being trustworthy in terms of, oh, there maybe you think there was someone else, and maybe that's why you think long distance might not be wasn't a good idea. But yeah, that's probably what I would say. So I just want to let you guys know this is probably just a part 1 of this. If you have any more questions, I will do more. I did not realize until recently that a lot of people coming to me like, I'm in a long distance relationship, I'm a YouTuber, and all this stuff like that. And I think it's a lot more popular than people think. And I think it's something that can have negative light to it, the long distance thing. But I haven't had issues with it. But I mean, I'm with my boyfriend for the summers, because I get to see him all the time then, even if we have a job or anything. But yeah, it's not, my long distance is not like living in another country, but I do understand that in some ways, because I watch a YouTuber who, Sam and Monica, who are long distance like that. But if you guys want a part 2 to this, let me know. I'm thinking about doing one at some point where me and my boyfriend are together asking questions, or he's asking me the questions and I answer, whatever that is. But I wanted to see if this was a good video, because I know some people in long distance, and I know advice can be really helpful. Okay, I love you guys, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye bye.